You are listening to audio from the Decidedly podcast. This episode is a highlight clip from this week's full episode. To listen in on the complete conversation, see the show notes for the link to the complete show. You can help us out by leaving us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate every bit of your support. I'm Morgan McKittrick, your producer, and this is Decidedly.
People will treat you with the respect that you treat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you carry yourself poorly, you don't comb your hair, you don't shave, you don't wear clean clothes. Yeah, you're probably not going to get the treatment that you might think you deserve, or, you think you deserve poor treatment. So wearing a suit and tie, there's a reason it's the uniform of the business world.
So there's a book called The Power of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini, and he mentions, one of the things he mentions in there, it's a really good book, is around social proof. And they did an experiment where they got in New York City at stoplights or crosswalks.
Yeah.
And they had some guy that was just dressed in normal, not dressed very nicely, try and cross against the light. And not that many people followed this guy.
Yeah.
Right? And then they went to the exact same crosswalk, same time of day. They had that same guy, and they dressed him in a suit and tie. And he crossed against the crosswalk. Everybody followed him.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You got job A, pays very well, don't really like the work, but the environment might be all right. Job B, pays less, love the work.
Yeah.
It's an easy choice. Before you make the choice, you got to ask yourself this question: how much money does it cost to give up on your dreams?
Ooh, that's good.
How much money does it cost? Is it millions of dollars, or is it a $5,000 a year annual salary?
Yeah.
Is that it? And for a lot of people, it is. For a lot of people, $5,000, $10,000, a little bit more money here. I get an hourly increase in my base pay of a couple bucks, and so I'll do a job that I don't like. Okay, that's selling your soul for some money, and I don't think that works out well for most people. I think that most people that you look at, that you meet in your life, that look miserable, that have sunken eyes, that can't seem to smile at a joke, those people who hate their jobs, I think that they pursued the wrong things for the wrong reasons. And pursuing a career path purely for the money, you're going to be disappointed, because it's something that you're going to have to do. You said something to me one time when I was younger. You said, whatever career you choose, you become that. And I was like, what are you talking about? You were like, well, if you become a financial advisor, you start reading financial advisor magazines. You start listening to radio shows. You start having conversations about these topics, and that's who you become.
Yeah.
And so if you choose a career, you become that career. If you choose to become a doctor, you become a doctor. And one day you wake up and you go, holy crap, I spend 90% of my time being a doctor. I guess I'm a doctor.
Right.
I guess I'm a guy who talks about health all the time.
Right.
And puts jelly on my fingers or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
So if you choose something that you don't like, you become someone who doesn't like what they do.
Yeah.
Whoa, geez, man. I don't want to become someone that doesn't like what I do all the time.
Oh, for sure.
I don't want to become a graphic designer if I'm not a graphic designer, if I don't want to be like the other graphic designers that I know. If the lifestyle that the people are living in the industry that I'm pursuing for the money aren't living how I'm living, how I want to live, well, then I need to stay away from that and pursue something that's more in alignment with how I want to see myself in the future. So no, don't take the job that is paying you more. I understand that not everyone is in a situation where they're able to pursue something based purely on what their passions are. Maybe you got kids, you got wife, you got debt, you got a family. Maybe you do have to factor in the money a little bit more than I am in this diatribe. by and large, if you have the freedom to make the choice, if you're asking the question like you are on Reddit, and you're grappling with it, and you're not forced to make purely a mathematical decision, then you need to go with what you're passionate at. And over time, you will be more likely to put in the extra work, to develop the skills, to have positive energy around the work that you're doing, which can carry you towards making more money long term.
Right. And the reverse is true as well. If you're taking a job you don't like, then you're not going to have a passion around it. You're not going to spend time learning and getting better and building your competencies. And the other people who do love it are going to bypass you and take the positions and take the jobs from you, and you're going to lose money.
Exactly.
Yep. All right, here it is. This is a different one. Shifting gears. Should I marry him? A guy just proposed to me. Should I marry him? He's a good guy. He doesn't drink, smoke, gamble, or party.
Okay.
He has a good job.
Bar's really high there.
Here. All right. It's about to take a turn.
Okay.
It's about to take
He doesn't have a crippling drug habit.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that.
Right.
Hopefully that was a given. Hopefully all those things. Hopefully he's not drinking, gambling, and partying.
Yeah, she's raised the bar. He doesn't drink, smoke, or gamble or party. All right. He has a good job. Here it comes. He has multiple wives, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing. It's legal in the country I live in.
Well, legal isn't moral. Legality and morality are not synonymous.
Okay.
So it looks like the way that just the way that wraps up, but it's legal. You know, that should never
legal.
That I forget that whether you need to be a sister wife or not. That shouldn't ever be needed to, and you should never have to say that to defend your argument. Right.
Oh, I would say if you are saying it, you know something's wrong.
If you're talking about the legality of anything, whether you're something you did that you're defending, something that you're considering doing, something that somebody else offered you, and you got to go, right, Shawn, it is legal.
Right.
You lose.
Yeah.
You are, that's not good. And you know it's not good.
Or you wouldn't be saying
it.
You
wouldn't be saying it. Because if you got to tell me, but it's legal,
right?
You know, man, come on, man. It's like I've been smoking weed. Weed's legal now. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean that you should need to be doing it 3 times a day. Right. It's legal, dude. Right. Well, okay. A lot of things are legal.
Yeah.
And me laying on my couch all day long and eating Lay's potato chips for 3 out of 3 meals a day is legal.
It's legal. Yeah.
Legality means nothing. That just means nobody's gonna put you in a
cage
for it.
Yeah.
If that's your standard, if the consequence that you're trying to avoid here is going to prison, and that's all you care about, well, then we talk about legality. If you're looking to align yourself to a purpose that is good, if you're looking to get the most out of life, then you're not talking about legality. So, first of all, that's my only argument that I need. Second of all, I would generally say that if you're asking whether or not you should marry someone, if you're asking internet strangers whether or not you should marry someone, then the answer is also going to be no.
You got to turn to Reddit to see if you should marry this dude.
The
qualifications he doesn't drink and smoke.
Let me ask some people that don't know this guy. Now, I'm guessing you asked your family and friends.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to assume that you already did ask that. I would ask them if you haven't yet and see what their take is. If you don't have the ability to do that, just remember this breakdown. We're 0 for 2 on reasons right here. 1 is that you're asking us in the first place. 2, he has multiple wives. Not a good sign. Not going to be able to commit to you like a man should. God says 1 man and 1 woman, so we're going to go ahead and lean on that wisdom.
All right.
Get some difficult ones for me.
You want me to find some really hard ones?
I want to have to think, like, those people. Those are so easy that the people who wrote them, they know the answer already.
Well, I brought that up to somebody the other day, and I said, most of the time when you're faced with a decision,
you know the answer.
You know the answer, and the real question is, why aren't you doing that?
What is causing you to need validation?
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine was having an issue with one of her employees, and this happened. I don't know. Should I fire him? Should I train him more? Should I give him another chance? Should I blah 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 blah? And my other friends are saying, you should do this, or what about this, or have you thought of this, or tell me more about what happened. I need more information. And I just looked at her and said, you know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Why are we sitting here? You know what to do. 9 times out of 10, we know what the decision is. We know what we need to do. We know what the right course of action is. We need to ask not what should I do, but why do I need other people to tell me? Someone put this to me really well. There's a woman named Karen. She said to me, when we seek advice from other people, we are placing them on a pedestal above ourselves. Right?
Okay.
Now, sometimes that's good to say, hey, like you are someone with expertise and with wisdom and with knowledge that I don't have.
Mm-hmm. Like your doctor.
Like your doctor.
Okay.
You should ask your doctor for advice.
Right.
Right. But we definitely ask people for advice that shouldn't be on a pedestal above us. And when you're asking internet strangers, that is you are asking people who absolutely do not have any sort of qualification.
Right.
And when you're sitting around asking for, should I fire this person or not? Well, I don't know this person.
Right.
You do. You run your business. You run your life. You know these people who are involved. You know the characters of this story. You are certainly the most qualified person to make this decision, and you know what's right. So we've got to look inward and say, why am I unable to take action? Why am I unable to take the first steps in what I know to be the right course and the right path? And there's a lot of different answers.
Thanks for making the great decision to listen in to this week's episode highlight. If you want more of what you just heard, see the show notes for the full episode. As always, for the latest decision-making tips, find us on decidedlypodcast.com or on Instagram @decidedlypodcast. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter from the link in the show notes. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review as well. We read all of your comments, so if you learned some decision-making tips today, let us know. Until next time, this is Decidedly. Insights, advice, and comments provided by Shawn Smith, Sanger Smith, and speakers identified as part of the Decidedly podcast should not be considered recommendations. Speakers not identified as members of Decidedly are expressing their opinion, and their statements should not be construed as reflecting the views of the Decidedly team. This podcast is produced solely for informational purposes, not personalized advice.